Hello all you maidenless tarnished out there. Today I'll be showing you how to easily take down Maliketh the Black Blade and the Beast Clergyman, which is actually my most difficult fight that I've had in Elden Ring. So this fight starts off, you want to bring a summon, because that makes this a lot easier when you're holding aggro. You can bring your summon in on the second phase of the fight where this gets a lot more challenging, because the Beast Clergyman here, he doesn't have the most difficult fighting attacks in the game. You can dodge them fairly easily. I'm not doing the best job of it, but you want to because you want to conserve your potions for the second phase of this fight. Now, bleed builds work pretty well because he can be bled, so that's what I'm running with here. I actually switched out my regular Rivers of Blood katana for the Uchi katana with the Flame of the Redmanes. Now, that attack is very useful here, and you'll see why in a short period of time, because it can stun lock the boss if you do it correctly. I don't do it correctly, but you see that it can help out a lot. Now, I was having so much difficulty with this until I brought out this old trick, and it actually worked fairly well for me, so I just want to share this video to make it a little bit easier, because this was the boss fight that it took me about 30 attempts to beat, and it was annoying running up the stairs past the Draconic Tree Sentinel every single time I wanted to fight this boss, but you will get there eventually. So it does take a lot of damage, as you can see. And it's good to have that bleed build because it can help out greatly with this fight. But you're going to want to try and keep your distance from its attacks. And once it gets below half health, it's going to change into its second form, which is much more difficult. After using the Rune of Death, Maliketh becomes very challenging. Now, this map does exist outside of space-time, so this is the same character that you can find in Caelid later, or earlier in the game. It's just in a different period of time. And if you do all the Beast Clergyman's special quests, bring him all those hearts, you can get a special line of dialogue when you're fighting this boss. He'll remember you. But the biggest thing here is to make sure you're using that Flame of the Redmanes and staggering the boss, because as you can see, I'm down to like 1/5 of its health now. And if you keep using it, you're going to be able to stun lock it, but I failed terribly there, and he had got me for like a good chunk of my health. But since I was conserving potions in the earlier phases of the fight, it didn't really bother me too much. And yeah, we tried to hit him again with it. Now, if you got a Mimic here, it can use it as well, but I found that he killed the Mimic pretty quickly. That was the biggest issue, because the Black Flames completely toast your Mimic. So I do lose the Mimic here, which does make it a little bit more difficult, because some of his attacks are quite challenging, but I tried to hit him again with the Flame of the Redmanes. It just didn't work out too well, but he got caught up in that one, and that was it. So it felt really good to beat this boss, because he was probably the most challenging boss in the whole game, other than the Elden Beast at the very end and Millennia, but I had more challenge with this than any of the other bosses. Millennia went down in under 10 attempts, and the final boss of the game took about 20 attempts. So this one was around 30. Very challenging, but that's how you do it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.